Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Shepreneur with beecee Ugboh on Africa Business Radio. I am here again to spotlight African women who are doing amazing in their different fields of endeavor. I get to talk about their lives, their work, their challenges, their experiences, and most of all, celebrate them. So, welcome to the show. Today on the trivia, we put out a question on social media as usual, and we got answers right back. And the question for today is, who is the first female governor in Africa and from which country? The answer is Virginia Etiaba Ngozi. Virginia Etiaba Ngozi was born 11th November 1942. She is a native of Ugboh Utulu, Nnewi in Nnewi North Local Government Council of Anambra State. She governed Anambra State, Nigeria from November 2006 to February 2007. She is the first female governor in Nigeria's history. She was instated as the previous governor when Peter Obi was impeached by the state legislature for alleged gross misconduct. She transferred powers back to Obi 3 months later when an appeal court nullified the impeachment. For 35 years, she worked as a teacher and headed several schools in Kafanchan, Aba, Port Harcourt, and Nnewi. She founded Bennett Etiaba Memorial Schools, Nnewi, of which she was the proprietress. Etiaba was a member of the Association of Women Entrepreneurs, International Literacy Program for the Nnewi North Local Council, the Environmental International Vanguard, and the World Organization for Early Childhood Education, OMEP. She was also a member of the Board of Governors of the Okongu Memorial Grammar School, Nnewi, member of the Board of Governors of Holy Child Convent School. A mother of 6 children, of which one is Emeka Etiaba San, who once contested for the governorship seat in Anambra State. Though her governorship was very short, this has shown that women can actually take up leadership positions if they want it. Now the question is, how badly do you want it? Stay with us, I'll be right back. Welcome back to She Motivates. Today we pick and celebrate women whose lives and work inspires us to do great every day. And we are celebrating Bonang Matiba Dorothy. Bonang Matiba Dorothy was born 25th of June in 1987. She is a South African television presenter, radio personality, businesswoman, producer, model, and philanthropist. Bonang is known for her flamboyant presenting skills and her signature voice. She presented the SABC One music show live, which built her spotlight in the industry. She is also known for being the first Black South African to be featured on numerous magazines. In 2011, she became the first South African celebrity to launch an online reality show called Bedazzled. In 2013, she was the first international ambassador for the cosmetic brand Revlon outside the United States. In 2014, she hosted the 2014 MTV Europe Music Awards pre-show, which made her the first South African to host the pre-ceremony. In 2015, she became the first African to be given an E! News Special Africa on E! In 2016, she graced the covers of Forbes Woman Africa, alongside 3 other women who were all given a headline for being the faces of entrepreneurship. She released her book From A to B and premiered her own reality show, Being Bonang, both in 2017. Are you inspired or motivated as a woman today to achieve all that you can achieve and be all that you want to be? Are you? Ask yourself that. I'll be right back. Welcome back to the Shiro segment. You're still watching Shepreneur with beecee Ugboh on Africa Business Radio. And today, I have an author, transformational life coach, entrepreneur, and poet. She's the founder and president of More Authenticity Limited and More from More Foundation for people who live on the streets. In 2019, she initiated the project Women Are More to help individuals harness the unlimited resources, gifts, talents, potentials, and ideas within and express their authenticity, ultimately leading to true abundance. She was given the EALA Award for African Emerging Icon in Entrepreneurship in 2020 and authored the guided journal Journey of More in 2021. Welcome, Monica.
Hi, beecee. Hi.
I like to call that name the local way. Money and car. Monica. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, beecee. How are you doing today?
I'm doing amazing. It's been a very, very long time.
Yes.
So how has life been treating you?
It's been amazing, really. I'm grateful to God, the journey so far. But you don't look bad yourself. You're looking really pretty.
We thank God we're hustling. We're doing all the hustles put together. You taught me that, I remember. So today, we want to get to know your journey so far. Okay. I know that you were in the banking industry for about 10 years and then you had to stop to start your own thing, to start your own business. Can you take us through that journey? Why did you decide to leave the bank? The bank, everybody wants to work in the banking sector, but you had to leave to start your business. How did that happen?
Okay, so first of all, I didn't just stop working in the bank. And another thing is, not everybody wants to work in the bank. Some of us work in the bank because we feel we don't have another option, and I was one of them. I was just working in the bank because, status quo, that was just what it was. I felt that was the best way since society had given it to us as, the best option. You look like you feel more fulfilled. You think you will be fulfilled when you work in the bank because you get paid more. And when you get into the bank, you find out that there are so many other areas of your life that is suffering. And you're not really fulfilled because, okay, I'm just talking about me and a number of people that I know in the work in the bank because we were just really like robots. So I got tired of working in the bank. It wasn't really my idea. I just borrowed it from somewhere and just, stay moving. And, in 2015, God did me a favor. I lost the job.
Whoa.
Yes, I did. I lost the job and it's been...
You didn't resign. It wasn't like you were ready to let go.
No, I didn't resign. I actually lost my job in 2015 and it has been one of the best things that have happened to me actually because, when there's so much inside of you and you have buried it, so the world or the universe just pulls the rug off your feet so that you can now express and release those gifts and talents and ideas, so many things that could help more people, and with that you feel more alive. So I was actually set up in the bank. But it's a very good story for me eventually, looking at it from hindsight, that it's been one of the best things that has happened to me.
Best
and
experiences.
Yes. And, I've moved on to other things, started global business consulting, helping families. I started with that. And we're one of the biggest companies in network marketing at the time and helped a lot of families earn money using that opportunity. And then also, realized that when I was doing that, Organo, I realized that there was much more. Like, I wanted to teach people, help people. And then I went into coaching as well. So.
Let's even stop there. So the last time I saw you, we did business together. So yes. I know you were big on network marketing. You were one of the top leaders in Nigeria. And, looking back just a few years now, we haven't seen in a few years, I'm seeing you're a poet. Monica, what happened? You're a poet, you're an author, you've already written a book. At what point? When did you encounter that change? What happened? Give us that story, please.
Okay, so what you saw was just personal development that happened, so I didn't just wake up and say, oh yes, it's time to be a poet. A lot led to my discovering that I was a poet. discovering that I could actually help people to become better in their lives. So I became a life coach.
Making money?
Apart from making money. And then that they could live a better lifestyle. So, most of this, I'll attribute that to my journey, because when I was in the bank, I was just, just the walk. I
focused on
self. And there was no vacation. I didn't even know what self-care was. Now I'm teaching people, self-care tips, and helping them to take better care of themselves, prioritizing self, and just being more mindful and self-aware. So I became more self-aware. That's the word. I became conscious of myself. I started to do imbibe certain practices that would help me to be more impactful as a person. So I moved from just living for myself to living, for my purpose. So I started, working on my mission here on earth. And I found out that was tied to helping other people, also reveal who they are, their authentic nature, which is why I founded the company Authenticity, because I found that I wasn't being authentic. So for over 30 years of my life, I was living someone else's life. I was living borrowed life. It's very funny, but the COVID-19 opened the eyes of many people. People who say wearing masks and all of that, but just imagine that that's what people are actually wearing in real life. Their inner self is wearing a mask all through their lives, and some find out that they're actually not living their lives or living the life they were meant to live on their deathbed. And I don't want people to live like that anymore. So when I discovered that I had not really been myself. I love dancing. Yes,
I'm
I
shocked.
So,
wow.
So there are a lot of things that are to me that I have never done. I love fashion, and I love.
We know that. We know that part.
All right. So all of those things, I had just buried them, and designing. I'm a very good graphic artist. And all of that, I never used that for anything,
I am shocked. That's the word. Wow. So, Monica, you have a lot of talents that were buried. Because
exactly.
The first thing in your head was to work in a bank and survive.
Yes.
So you're basically working, raising children, taking care of family just to have something on the table.
I was basically on autopilot. That's the word.
Just to be able to eat and dress up and be okay. But you had lots of talents that God had given you that was buried till you found this. Now see, I like when I have this sort of discussions, I like you to go deep. You started out in network marketing aside the banking when you left banking.
Yes.
And you found self-development. What led you to find self-development? Was it like somebody held your hand, or you had a dream one day, you woke up and say, okay, Monica, it's time to start self-developing? Or did anybody help your journey? How did you find self-development?
Okay, so most network marketing companies, right, because they know that they have to develop you, to build your business, right? Have self-development or personal development rather, a personal development culture. They train their partners so that when they are better, then the business will be better.
So you can present.
Exactly. And, you build, because everybody is like on your own. Or when I help my partners, then I grow, right? So it's not like a selfish way, or the corporate world where you have the dog eat dog kind of business. Now, but there was Dr. Harry Benjamin, who was my mentor at the time, particularly very, very conscious person, individual. He's one of, in fact, I've actually never met anyone like that before. And he's very selfless, so he put in much more than most leaders would have, and then I started looking at myself. I remember one time I used to be a very anxious person. So I used to do a lot of things. I'm very hardworking, right? So
we know that. I know that. You are.
So I was using that as a way of, downing or
suppressing.
Yes, suppressing my anxiety.
The hard work.
Yes, it was in hindsight. So when you're in a program, you don't even know you're running on an internal program. So you're just doing things. You just want to keep doing things. You're just
busy.
active. And you're overdoing that, because I've learned a lot of things after I left the bank, really, because the growth from 2015 to now is like massive. It's so much. I found out that also there might have been times where there was this impostor syndrome that kept,
What do you mean by impostor syndrome?
Impostor syndrome is when you feel sometimes that you may not be good enough. So there are different variants. So sometimes, or you feel like you're a fraud. People think, or you think that people perceive you better than you actually are. Or think you're more qualified than you actually are. So sometimes to live up to people's expectation, you may want to work too hard. You may want, before a presentation, you may want to prepare too much. You are over prepared and you can't internalize that success really, because every time you get to that level, you feel like, oh, okay, the success was because of I over prepared. Or if when I don't prepare, I say, oh, okay, the success was because I was lucky. So there was just this thing, there were different things, which I now have started using, because of my journey, my experience. I'm now able to help people out of those things so that there is no ceiling over their lives anymore. Because once you can take off that issue, that limiting beliefs, then people can now shine. People can now, skyrocket to the lives that they want, or just be the person that they want to be. Right?
Who they are meant to be.
Yes, who they are meant to be. So Dr. Harry Benjamin played a very huge role in making me more self-aware. And then but really, you have to be ready, because when the student is ready, and the teacher appears, right?
True.
So because you won't recognize a teacher if you are not ready. So he was there at the time I was ready, and then so I started moving, and from then I started doing certain things, mindful things that made me even more aware. Like I started meditating, I started journaling, and so many other things. And I found out that those habits had helped a lot in my spiritual journey, personal journey, in all areas of my life. Even my focus became better. I was less anxious. I started discovering the talents, the gifts that I had inside of me. And then one day I started noticing that there was this flair for poetry that I didn't have.
That you didn't know you had.
Yes, yes, that's exactly it. I didn't know I had it.
Yeah,
I had it, but they were latent. And so many of us are walking around with those gifts, and just like that, in 2018, I found out that I was writing poems. They just come to me like inspirations. Some of them sometimes very, very vivid, clear. The words very clear. And I just write them down, and then now I'm going to be authoring another book of the poems.
Wow.
This year. So,
I'm really so happy and excited for you, because it seems to me like you have found your purpose. Yeah. And that's the life that we all aspire to live, to be able to understand why God has put us here and what He intends for us to do with the gifts and the talents that He's given to us. I'm so happy about that. Well, but I want to ask you, your journey of more, I know that it's more about helping other people become better versions of themselves. How do you help people who have a problem of low self-esteem and confidence? Now, a lot of people... So
when you say journey of more, sorry, do you mean the book?
No, the whole package. I'm still going to the book differently.
More authenticity.
Yes, more authenticity. Okay. How do you help people who have a problem with confidence, who have a problem with a low self-esteem. They do not believe in themselves. They do not believe that they are worthy. How do you help them come out of it?
Okay, so I have a 5-step framework that I I use to help people, because I was there myself, so I can really understand. And so people are in different stages in their life. So sometimes, even when you look so successful, you still aren't that confident. I was a business manager, and I know that I used to suffer a little bit of confidence issues. Yes. And you may not know, I look really good, I smell and all that, but it smells when you're there, and it's like, oh, did I do really well? Did I? And I'm worried and that I may not meet up to expectations. And so I know all of that, and I can help people because I have been there myself. So with the 5-step process, we remove limiting beliefs. First of all, we start to talk. Okay, so why is this? Because we have to put what you feel, the perception, versus the facts. So
versus reality.
Well,
or fact.
You can determine your reality.
Your reality, yes.
By making your perceptions your reality. So
okay.
I don't really call it reality. It's the fact. What is it? Okay, so because if this, what you believe is happening, or who you believe you are now, you can't verify that, and say yes for sure this is what it is, then it's not a fact. So what are the facts? So we go through that, then people begin to say, oh, it was just a limiting belief. And some people are really trying hard to be somewhere, but they're not getting there because they are also sabotaging themselves
unknowingly
by what they are saying to themselves, negative self-talk, or what the words they are using. They mean well, but they are not in alignment. The words they are using, or what they are saying to themselves, or even just a past experience is holding them back. Unforgiveness. Sometimes we find out that it's even just unforgiveness and so many other things that are just holding them back. And once you can remove that blockade, the person begins to fly, begins to soar, like the ego that he is, or he or she is.
So how do you go through this session of removing the limiting beliefs? Because, okay, being a certified life coach myself, I know that we have tools that are used when we have sessions. Some people do NLP. I did NLP as well. So we use some neurological pathways to help people come out of the unlimiting beliefs. Now, when you have someone you want to help, how do you go through the process? Do you have a conversation? Do you give assignments? If I come to you now and say, okay, I feel like I'm not good enough, what are some of the things you would tell me to do that would help me? Okay,
so it's a combination of both, because I told you that people are in different stages in their life. Sometimes they just have to say it, and to someone. They've never said it to anyone. They felt so afraid that they've never mentioned it to anyone. And sometimes during the conversation,
it comes out.
It now comes out, and then they realize how little they have been, or how they've been downplaying themselves, or how they've been, keeping themselves really small or playing small. So sometimes it may just be exercises like just go and expand your mind, go somewhere. Sometimes people may have limiting beliefs around money, finances, and all that. So it may just be an exercise like go to a home that you would want, because you have all this written out, and you have not
visualize.
been able to. You've not been visualizing is good, but also sometimes when you are there, when you're like less than 8 meters from what it is that you want, then you
tangible.
Can have it. Yes, the tangible. Then you can have it
wow.
too. So sometimes it may just be that, and then they just find out that, oh my God, this, is just not, above my reach, or this is within my reach. There is nothing that is beyond my reach. All right. So they start to walk towards it, because once you feel it, your mind is like an elastic band.
You can absorb it.
Yes. So once you stretch it, it's no longer just in the invisible. You saw it, you touched it, and you smelt the leather if it's a car, or if it's
money and car. What did I say? She is money and car. Go ahead.
And then you don't want to go back into your old Volkswagen anymore. You don't want to. I'm saying Volkswagen because that's just like extreme, but you don't want to go back into the car that you used to drive, because you know that these people that are doing this, they don't have two heads. So what do I need to do to get this done? And most times we work against ourselves. You know, we are our biggest enemies. So when we can just take ourselves out of the way and say, oh yes, I can do this, why not, I can do this, and they begin to see reasons why they can, then they are good to go. So the conversations, the assignments, they just work hand in hand. But every person is unique depending on their stage. All right, so for someone that has
and their readiness
and the readiness is, but they must have been ready to come to you. Yes, because if you know, to go into such deep conversations, the person must have really been ready to speak to you and open up. You know, some have are sick and tired of being sick and tired, and so they just need someone that they can trust, that would walk them through the journey, because the person has overcome that as well. So,
Monica, this is some deep stuff. We'll take a break now. When we come back, we continue with this conversation with Monica. Stay with us.
Hi, this is your girl, Monica Nnoka, the More Coach, and you're listening to Shepreneur with beecee Ugboh on Africa Business Radio.
Welcome back to the Shira segment. You're still watching Shepreneur with beecee Ugboh on Africa Business Radio. And I still have with me Monica Nnoka. We're still having that very deep conversation, and I can't wait to really milk you. So you said a lot of things, and I want to ask, what is the role of hard work when it comes to success? Because, you know, when we talk about beliefs, you know, when you see it, you can be it. When you touch it, you can understand that you're limitless and all of that. A lot of young people get carried away and feel they really do not need to put in the work to be able to succeed. So I'm asking, where does hard work come in actualizing our goals?
Okay, so I'm going to put it this way. I'm no longer a fan of hard work. I believe in work, but you know, hard work, extreme hard work, I'm not really a fan of that, because you can just be, you know, working towards something that you know, it's like running to Ibadan and you want to go to Ikoyi, and you're working really hard and going to Ibadan, because that's what I was doing. I was really working hard on the things that weren't for me. You know, so smart work is very important as well. When I say smart work, I'm not talking about Yahoo.
I need you to break it down.
I'm not talking about things that dubious ways of making money and all of that. I'm talking about being smart, one, and having direction. And the direction should come from your inner master. When I say inner master, I mean come from within. You know, so most times people are working really hard on things that are not their passion. They're working really hard on things that they don't really like. So they spend 40 years of their lives very miserable, unfulfilled. And when they leave the job after 40 years, they feel it's too late to start something new.
They realize they haven't lived.
Yes. So the problem is that they think it's too late to start something new. And because of that, they just do whatever is they think is, you know, you know, after all, it's 30 years and I'll soon be out of this place, out of the planet. And so they no longer live a life of impact. So that's why I said smart work is very important. If what you're doing is not really for you and you're just doing that to survive for now, why don't you look inwards for that which really interests you. Ask yourself, what is the grand idea or vision, or what is the grand picture of me here on this planet? Because everybody is great. It's just that and no one is really special. Let me just say that now. No one is special. Nobody is. It's just that some people have specialized in manifesting their greatness.
And you mentioned everybody is great. Everybody actually is great.
Yes, everybody is great. But some can leave it to be buried,
dormant.
just dormant, latent, and they are not using it. So if you can walk towards, like step into your greatness. That's what I do at Authenticity. I really help people to step into their greatness, realize their genius, because everybody has that genius within, and then they start to walk towards that. Then you're happier, working hard on that interests you. So
Monica, let me stop you here, because I remember when I met you as a network marketer. You still do a bit of that, right?
Yes, I still.
You came on strong. From a distance, somebody can say, this woman is powerful, she's strong, she knows, she's a go-getter. You will spur us to get there and do the business and bring in the sales and all of that. You were good at that. But you weren't looking as refreshed as you're looking now. You had big bumps of pimples on your face, I remember. But right now you're looking, having this conversation with you, you're looking very calm, and I could feel it from the inside. Now, is it a part of what you benefited from doing what you're meant to do right now? Do you work as hard as you used to? Because I know you don't sleep at that time. You were always pursuing one client or the other. Do you work that hard? And how come you're looking more at peace? Is it because you have finally found your purpose? Can you tell us the difference between the two times?
Okay, so, the difference is actually fulfillment or fulfillment.
Feel full and fulfill. Wow.
Yes. So, that's actually the difference. So when you're fulfilled, you know that you're full already. You're complete. You're perfect the way you are. That there's so much beauty, genius, talent, ideas, potentials, limitless within. Then you can fill up, at the outside. So
you have
start
to be
from the
full
inside,
first.
yes, to the
fill up the
yes.
outside. Wow.
But some people start with fulfillment, which is the imaginary hole within, and they want to fill
it up.
They feel outside is full, and they want to fill up what's within. And most times when we're chasing all of those things on the outside without allowing the inner guide, what's within, to guide your steps, right? And I'm not just talking about, because some people are very religious. I'm not talking about religiosity here. I'm talking about spirituality. So when you allow that which is within you, become more aware, and you know that you already have what it takes. You just have to allow yourself to align. Then you would be able to do more with even what you have.
With the little you have.
The little you have. So you think you have a little until you look within and you're like, wow, that is just so much money on the table. That is just so much ways I can help people, and you are shocked at what looks like little is going to do for you and the people around you.
Monica, that reminded me of that scripture where I think it was Elijah or Elisha who met the woman who needed to pay up debts, and she needed a miracle somehow. Okay. And Elijah or Elisha, I can't remember the exact prophet now, had to say, what do you have in your house? What do you have? I need to do something for you. Just look for. And she was looking, and then she found one small oil that was remaining, and we remembered how that miracle happened. Yeah. So I'm aligning with what you're saying, that we all have the gifts. Everybody is great. But the difference between A and B is that A has found a way to understand that he has it, and is in a place to bring it out.
Yes.
But B is not aware that there's anything.
And, choice is always a function of awareness. So how can I choose something I'm not aware is available to me even? So that's just it.
True.
So, people are I won't say privileged. People have put themselves in a situation where they feel they don't have any choice. And some are in a place where they know that they can choose and, define their destiny. You decide what is going to be for you, really.
You create your reality.
Yes, you do that. Some people say, when you say create reality, some people are like, what is God now? No, and the reason why I'm saying this is, in Igbo they say, Onyenkwe, Chiekwe. Once you decide this is what it is, the universe begins, and God created the universe, guys. When people hear universe, they're like, okay, what is it about now? The universe, everything is out there, begins to work in a way that favors you or that you have decided to do. And when you're doing that wholeheartedly, not 50% and then the other is not in alignment. So when you decide to do this and you keep at it and you start moving, then that will happen.
Yeah.
But you have to put some action to it. It's not prayer. It's not just prayer, because some of us in Nigeria have learned to pray,
for the things we can solve. Yes.
And keep praying for God to calm down physically and do things. Meanwhile, you are the answer to your prayer. The answer is already within you.
True. It reminded me of this book, The Alchemist. It says when you want something, the universe conspires to bring it to you.
Exactly.
And I listened to T.D. Jakes one time as well, and it was like you prayed to have a table and God gives you a tree, because God is not going to come down to build the table. He has given you the tree. It's now left for you to think of how to convert the tree to the table.
And one thing God has also done is God has given you the creative abilities. So you were created to create. So you have been given that creative ability. So when God gives you a tree, then you can do anything. That's why I say you can do all things, because you already have what it takes to do that. So
true. Because we are gods ourselves.
Yes, we are one with God. In all sincerity, that's what it is. They say you move, have your being.
In Him,
in God,
we move and have our
everything.
being.
So, and if you move and have your being, then you're one with that.
Yeah.
That you move and have your being.
Yeah, true.
So that's it.
So let me ask you, what is the role of spirituality in career and business? Now, why I'm asking this question is, once you come out to say, I am now spiritual, leave religion, that one is different. I am now spiritual. People expect that the way you handle business will change. If you used to be a fraudster, you will now start considering people and stop stealing. If you used to lie and cheat just to make all of the profits, those sort of things will change because you now understand who you are in God. Now, what should we expect from people who have become spiritual? How do we see it in their career and in their businesses and in their lives?
Okay, so spirituality is everything. Most of us focus on the 5%, which is what we see physically. Meanwhile, spirituality is the 95%, because everything happens in the spirit, and then 5% manifests. So spirituality is everything. So when you become aware of who you are, first of all, knowing that who you are, you're a spirit brain before you became a human. And you're here on earth to do something, and you have a mission here on earth, then you begin to move and behave differently. And you said the word expect. I wouldn't use that word expect, because you shouldn't really expect anything from anybody.
Monica.
Because that's
why.
And let me tell you why I said that, because why people get disappointed. Because you have put your appointment, you have decided that this person should give a certain result. So you're trying to control the outcome of something, and when it doesn't happen that way, you become disappointed. So you diss your appointment. The only person you expect,
Monica, you have appointed. Then when it doesn't happen, you diss your appointment.
So the only person that you should give such expectations and all that is God. So you know that forever God is love, it doesn't change.
Love.
Yes, it doesn't change. And what should you expect? That everything works for your good. What should you expect? That all your needs are met. So that's enough, and then whatever it is that happens, just know it's working for you. It's working in your favor. So so you don't, that's why I don't use the word expect. Immediately I understood that the reason why I get disappointed is because I'm expecting. And why am I expecting? I'm feeling entitled. That's probably why I'm
That's
expecting.
why we have expectations.
Yes.
Wow.
So I'm feeling entitled. And why am I feeling entitled? So if it works, it's all good. It's all good.
If it doesn't, it's okay.
So I'm not attached to the outcome. And with that, I'm more relaxed. So if it works, okay, good. If it doesn't, okay, good. And then I can look at the other door that is opening while this is closing, because most times it's a redirection. So I believe people, when people show me, you said, what should we expect from people that are doing business? So I believe that everybody is doing their best
they can
at the level that they are with the resources available to them. Because everybody is spiritual, remember. So there is no really growing in spirituality, just becoming more aware of how spiritual you are,
becoming more conscious
or aware of how spiritual you are. So you may not be very conscious of it right now, but you're still spiritual, at this stage. I won't say level, because there is no level of growing to any. It's actually unfolding. There is no growing, really. It's actually just unfolding and beginning to reveal that more of that which you are, which is why I talk about more. There is so much more in us or about us that we are not aware of. And so we're helping people to become more aware of themselves so that they can reveal that and become, that light that they are here to be, and help more people, impact more lives, touch more lives. And that's the...
Somebody may be listening to you right now and wants to know how to become aware, become more, but they do not know the steps to take. People have run from pillar to post just to understand themselves, and it still depends on your stage and the level of awareness that you have. What can you say to people who may be listening or watching and they feel, I think I need to get to a point where I know more about myself. What do I do? What are my first steps? What can I do? How can I just become more?
Okay, the first steps that I would say, anybody should take to become more aware of themselves is stay more with yourself. Spend more time with yourself.
Alone time?
Yes. A lot of people don't spend time, are afraid even of spending time with themselves. And I'm serious. A lot of people ask. That's why people have to be in loud music. They're in their cars. They're playing loud music because they just don't want to be alone, because they're afraid of those thoughts that come up. So you want to be, allow yourself to bring up those thoughts, those frustrations, so that you can analyze, because you are able to now isolate yourself from your experiences, from the thoughts that come to your mind, from what is happening to you, or from your role even. So sometimes when you are a mom, you think, I'm just a mom, I'm a mom.
That's all there is to me.
You are not even a mom. That's a role that you are playing. So I'm always skeptical about the word I am and mom, or I am a mom, I am a wife, because once you just put
those are roles.
A cap, you just put a limit over who you are immediately just by doing that. But you play those different roles doesn't mean that that's who you are. So if you're able to distinguish that, isolate yourself from your thoughts, your this, and then just observe those things, start becoming aware.
So let's break it down for people who do not understand. So you stay alone with your thoughts,
yes,
or you stay alone and you're praying or you're meditating. When I'm alone, what am I supposed to be doing alone? How do I?
So praying is different, because praying is when you're actually talking, you're actually having a conversation, right? That's praying. But when you're meditating or you're just reflecting, introspection,
reflection,
yes, you're doing that, then you're not talking, you're just observing what is passing through your
mind,
your consciousness, your mind. What are the things that are coming up? Are they true? Because some of those things are not true. So you're able to say, oh, then you're able to catch it. Say, oh, come. No, I'm not, this is not true about me. No. And then, or you hear yourself say, okay, let me give you an example. I used to say, you know me, beecee. Every time I was like, you know me now, I'm the girl. Everybody knew me as the girl.
Yeah.
And I tried hard not to say when I'm, and it started affecting me. I felt like I couldn't talk without saying because before I speak to you, I would have thought of the many times that people would have, just friends, just laughing, tease me and say, oh, she's going to say again. And my friend Richard, say, she's going to say Okay, so when those thoughts come to my mind and I sit, I'm waiting to maybe give a teaching or do my presentations, and then those things come to my mind, pass through my mind, and the next thing I'm saying to myself is, I'm not going to say But what I've done to myself is focus on the and
not on what you're about to say.
Yeah, because your mind does not know not or do not or all those negative things.
It works with pictures.
It works with pictures and keywords. Just like when you go to Google and say, do not show me billionaires. Google
Billionaires
is just going to bring up Google billionaires.
Yeah.
Google is just going to give you what
keywords
you have keyed in. Billionaires will come up. So just imagine, I'm saying, I do not want to say I'm not going to say I'm going to say my presentations without saying I have focused on So my energy, what you focus on expands. So my energy has gone to So those sabotaging thoughts, you're able to catch them. So I now found that, I was the one doing this to myself. It happened during meditation. So I was like, okay. So this is what I do to myself. So now I tell myself, you are just articulate.
I'm eloquent.
And eloquent and elegant. And you know what? You have a lot to say, and you're going to help and inspire people out of what it is they are going through. And when I say that, it's all positive. But remember, there's a difference between not going to hell and I want to go to heaven. There are two different goals. All right? So one is focusing the energy on not going to hell. And what you resist, you will. You will get coming to you. Yeah. So that's just what helped me.
Monica, this is some deep conversation, and it's unfortunate that I have to let you go at this point.
I really enjoyed myself.
Else we'll be here for hours. Like, you have so much that the world needs to hear, and I'm very excited. Knowing you from way back, I'm really excited that you have, you've found what you're here to do. Thanks for sharing with us. I wish you all the best in your future. Where's my book? You promised me you're coming with a book. Where's my book?
Okay, so the book is going to be launched.
It hasn't been launched yet.
Yes, it's going to be launched in May.
Okay.
But we have the pre-order happening right now. Okay. So people can get it at the discount rate.
Okay. So please keep mine. I'm going to get it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much for sharing with us. I wish you all the best. I hope to see you more often so that we can have some very deep conversations regarding all of life, spirituality, career, business. She's a major career and business coach as well. Thank you so much, Monica. And that's all we can take on this episode today. Till I come your way again, thanks for staying with us on Shepreneur with beecee Ugboh on Africa Business Radio. Bye-bye.